Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like the Ukrainian offensive doesn't go well at all for them. Why? Because some Western weasels are accelerating their call for NATO military presence in Ukraine. They need more and more because the guys cannot push through the Russian defense forces. And there's an article that I covered yesterday with the former NATO Secretary General Rasmussen, I think is his name, who said that there's some countries in NATO that they will probably provide military troops on the ground if they want. I don't think anybody will oppose that or something like that. Eventually they will have troops on the ground in Ukraine. And I made that video yesterday stating that they did the same thing with each and every arms supply. Every time they were about to send something more sophisticated, better, like as I said, they started with juveniles, and then they went to the howitzers, and then they went to the armored vehicles, and then they went to HIMARS, and they went to tanks, and they went now to fighter jets, and then long-range missiles. They follow the same pattern, the same policy, the same technique. They first talk, what if? They just throw it in the air and see how people react. And then, depending on, according to whatever the reaction is, they go further. And I say, I think that would benefit saving lives. Always put it like that, and everybody would be like, yeah, saving life, yes. And then they go from there. Until they say, we should not, yes, we should, yes, we do it. So now they're talking about sending troops over there. Yesterday, they spoke like this. Now, I have an article from Ukrinform with a Polish general talking this. And the next one is going to be this. The next one is going to be, we're going to send troops, we're going to do this. So there's no smoke without a fire. So when you hear a conversation, that means someone thinks about it. That's been discussed already. So let's see what's going on here. We have a Polish general. This comes from Ukrinform. It is from today, the 9th of June 2023. Polish general tells what NATO security guarantees for Ukraine should look like. You see, now the should, might, could, we're not saying we're sending it. I think it's just an intellectual conversation here. That's what they want you to think. No, they want to build that little step by step that they've been doing with each and every arm supplies or move they made. Protecting Ukraine's airspace and achieving security in the Black Sea should be the first steps in the framework of security guarantees that Ukraine should receive from NATO. This guy said, Waldemar Skrichak, a Polish general and former commander of the Polish army, expressed this opinion in an interview with Ukrinform. They always start like this, with former. Like, they're not authorities, they're not, they're not the Polish military, there's not politicians calling for it. It's just a former, it's just a opinion maker, an analyst, and something like this, someone who knows the matter. That's what they say. An expert. And I'm quoting, at the NATO summit, the general says, we need to make a decision that Kiev has been asking for a long time. So why didn't you make this decision on February 25th, 2022? Why now? To close the airspace of Ukraine, why didn't you do this then? Because of us, I guess. Us being the public that should not have fallen for that at that point, but now we are already almost entirely involved in it. That's all that's missing. Military troops on the ground, right? In this case, Russia will not be able to launch missiles at Ukraine and their planes will not be able to fly there, the general said. Well, they already say that the planes are not flying because of the sophisticated American air defense systems, and the missiles launched at Ukraine are 100% destroyed nowadays by the perfect Patriot systems. So either this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or the other guys are lying, or both. All right, and there's some other options as well, but I don't want to use them. According to him, if Russia continues to do so, NATO must. According to what? Why is this right here? Why NATO must? According to what kind of treaties? Why must? Guarantee the security of Ukraine's airspace. Why must? By, and I'm quoting, now this is important, sending its air forces to Ukraine to protect the Ukrainian sky. I think they're already there. That's my, I think my assessment is they're already there operating HIMARS and Patriot. But I have no evidence to support that, but logic and information, how much training you need to be able to do that, and many other barriers needed to be eliminated before you do that, like language and computer working on that. But anyway, there's details that would change the whole idea that is Ukrainian operating the Patriot and the HIMARS. Okay, so sending its air forces. Okay, that's fine. Maybe they send the airplanes with their pilots. I think that's going to happen for the same reasons I mentioned for HIMARS and Patriot. He added that the alliance has the capabilities to guarantee this. Yes, there's going to be a hot war with Russia. Are you ready for that? And why are you ready now and you were not ready on the 25th of February 2022, one day after the invaders attacked, unprovoked? And I'm quoting again the general. It is necessary to conduct an operation under the auspices of NATO. Why is it necessary? To clear the sea of mines that limit the functioning of Ukraine's economy and then open Ukrainian ports. At the same time, we need to send a clear signal to Russia. In case of further aggressive actions in this region, NATO will send its contingent to protect its partner. Yes, they will definitely qualify any Russian movement in the Black Sea as a further aggression. Therefore, they will do exactly this. They will send its contingent, that is, submarines and navy. The former Polish army commander emphasized, he is convinced that the alliance should guarantee security in Ukraine with its troops. Yes, okay, why don't you go over there? Put your boots on and go in the front row. Go over there. Don't stay in the back 3,000 miles away and talk like others did, which will allow for further reconstruction and development of the country. Because people are always generous with other people's money. That's why the government spends the way it spends, because it's not their money. So if someone gives you, got a budget of about, $30 billion, I can give you about 200 millions to you. I like you. How about that? And you, and you, and you. And if that fails in whatever project you have, it was not coming from us, and there's no repercussions, no consequences. I'm still in place. But you know what you can do? You can vote the guy. You can vote the guy out who appointed me on this position. Okay? Okay. Yeah. In 5 years or 4 years or 6 years. All right. And you're gonna vote another guy that's gonna appoint another guy like me who's gonna make the same decisions as the other guy did it. So yeah, just do it democratically. Work within the system. Jesus Christ. Let's move on here. So we have here, the general also believes that security guarantees should be provided to Ukraine not by individual countries, but by NATO in general. Yeah, because you are weasels. Because courage is always in numbers, and cowardice is always individual. Right? Right. Yes. We want to be together, all together, because we're so strong. When you hear these guys talking about being strong, but they always act in a pack, like wolves, tells you how strong they know they are. If you look at NATO, the last 30 years interventions that these guys who had the hegemony over this planet, there's always in a pack. You have the states got its little minions, and we are not only one, it's the alliance. Why? Because they put the alliance as the allies in the Second World War. And we are the allies. Allies are good. The Axis is always a bad thing. They will never call themselves Axis. They always call themselves allies. But the other ones are not allies. Even if they follow the same method of getting together, they're not allies. That's an Axis. Why? Because they always want to keep the World War II in your brain, that this, okay? You know what I mean. Move on. All right. So, There should be, I'm convinced that the division of the organization's countries into groups is unreasonable today. There should be a consolidated position of the alliance, and this military mission should be under the NATO flag, and the alliance should provide Ukraine with security guarantees, the Polish general said. Okay, and the Russians will throw a few nuclear bombs on you, and then we're done. And you're going to go back where you came from because you're not going to retaliate, because you love your lives as the Russians do theirs. He called it very risky if only a few countries, Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states, do this. According to the expert, this will give Putin the argument that he is not at war with NATO, but has individual enemies with the alliance. Thus, the Russian dictator's scenario will be realized. Russia is not threatened by the entire alliance, but by Poland, which he has been talking about a lot lately, and the Baltic states. By Poland's actions, I think you are at war with Russia. Just put it this way, and I will explain. He believes that everything possible should be done to ensure that the alliance provides political, but above all, military security guarantees to Ukraine at the Vilnius summit. And I'm quoting again, I think this is realistic. There is no need to divide NATO. So why didn't they do that, as I said, last year? You know why. Now, let me put, why do I say Poland is at war with Russia? I'll tell you this. Declared by Poland, I have to clarify. Why? If I go to fight that guy, all right? Let's say I'm the bad dude, and I just want to go over there and get his car. And he fights me back, and I still fight. And you help that guy with food, you help that guy with weapons, you help that guy with intelligence, you train his kids, you do this. What would that make you? My friend? No, you are on his side, you declared war on me. That's any normal person and country would do it. So, when they say, no, we didn't declare war. Yes, you declared war. It's undeclared, but your actions, because when you say I declare war, it's not like, which one is the war? Declaration of war. I declare war with you. And nothing happened. Or I come and punch you in the face and I start attacking you. But I don't say that. I don't say, hey, I declare war. No, without saying that, I just attack you. Which one is declaring war? My declaration without any action, or my action without a declaration? You don't need 50 minutes to think about it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So same here. Yes. And yes, NATO will do that. What's going to happen? The Russians, will lose their patience, I think, or whatever you want to call it, cool, logic, reason, and I think they will start threatening with nuclear weapons when they get sick of this, we're not at war, but we hit you with those guys, with everything we got. Everything we got, we hit you, but you can't hit us back, because we're not at war with you. Okay, and the Russians so far did not do anything about it. But I'm guessing at one point, I don't know, Putin is eliminated and other people will take control and say, you know what, the game is over. No more bad guy Putin, we got worse guy, this one. And then what? Closing the airspace, they're going to shoot the Russians' planes, they're going to shoot you. Not the planes over there. Anyway, my friends, and this is the general, this is an expert, But what I'm pointing out is they started talking more and more and more and more. That means that's discussed outside of this general's, little circle, and importance. That's talked over there. And it has been talked before. It's been talked before the war started. Unprovoked war. My bad. Ma culpa. Okay, ma culpa. This thing has been talked before the war started on the 24th of February 2022. Remember what happened to Libya? Libya could not retaliate. They said, we close your airspace. Who's they? NATO. What? I thought NATO is Europe. No? North Atlantic organizations for keeping peace in Europe and all that. Defensive. But they closed another country's airspace. How is that working? But Libya has 4 million people. Russia has 145 million people. Libya did not have nuclear weapons. These guys have. Russia has a big army. These guys, like this army. So, you can push them around. Again, it was an alliance attacking, intervening in Libya. I mean, I can go on and on with this BS. So yes, General, that's been talked, I guarantee you, years before this. Years. I can say tens of years. At least 10 years. At least before 2008. Since NATO started its expansion, actually when Warsaw Pact disintegrated, that was the time when this guy said, okay, let's sit down. What are we going to do next? We're going to do this now. Pop, 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 pop. And exactly what they do. What do you think they go towards Russia? That's been always the goal. Someone said in an article I read that it's not Russia, the goal, but actually it's China. But China is next, that's for sure. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.